Today I'd like to demonstrate the absorbency of our products versus the typical clay product that is found in the market and that has been traditionally there for many years. Our products are highly absorbent. The first one I want to talk about is OilMaster 7X. OilMaster 7X is 7 times more absorbent than a clay product, such as a clay-based product that you'll find in use either in retail or in garages. Sometimes the clay-based products are known as speedy dry, or they're also known as kitty litter, and they also always have their derivative basically in clay. The second product I want to talk about is EconoZorb. EconoZorb is a blend of our agricultural fibers with a natural whitening agent that is included to also allow the user to grind it into the stain to cover it up somewhat like they do with a clay-based product. So what I want to do now is simply through this demonstration is show the absorbency of each of the 3 products. OilMaster 7X, again 7 times more absorbent than clay. EconoZorb, a blend of our agricultural waste fibers as an absorbent, which is more absorbent than clay as well. Also, it's easy to see that this material, when you see it demonstrated, will absorb the material, will absorb the oil very quickly. The clay does not really absorb. The oil has to attach to the outside of the clay pellets, whereas our products actually absorb the liquid that it's absorbing. OilMaster 7X is very easy to use. It's lightweight. 1 bag of our material will do the equivalent job of 2 bags or 80 pounds of clay, and 1 bag of OilMaster is 9 pounds. It's a one-step cleanup with 7X. You put it down, it absorbs and works immediately, just as EconoZorb does. You don't have to wait and let it absorb, for any long period of time. All of our products are eco-friendly. OilMaster 7X is biodegradable, and EconoZorb is also eco-friendly. What I want to do basically is put an equal amount of oil on each of the products and have you take a look at the absorbency of each. On the 7X, it will run down and be absorbed by the OilMaster 7X. And the EconoZorb, and then the clay. You'll notice that because the clay itself does not absorb very well, what happens is that the oil runs over and through and literally pushes it out of the way. There is very little absorbency. You will use at least, as again, by weight, 7 times more clay than you will of the 7X for the same absorbent job. What we're going to do now actually is show a demonstration of how our OilMaster absorbents work on a cement floor, which is typical of most of the applications in a garage or in a plant setting. And what we're going to do is make basically 3 equal oil spills, and using OilMaster 7X and EconoZorb, as well as a clay product, we're going to basically go through a cleanup to have you see just basically the differences in absorbency capability. The first thing we're going to do is just simply make about a pancake-sized spill. And then we're applying the clay. Actually, the clay is very heavy, and it actually pushes down on the spill and expands it somewhat. But typically what happens is that when there's a spill, the clay absorbent is simply put down on the spill. Next we'll use the 7X material. Which is lighter weight, but very absorbent. Use about the same amount of each. And the last one is the EconoZorb absorbent, which is that blend we talked about with the natural whitening agent. If you were able to see that, you'd see that the actual absorption is beginning almost immediately as soon as I lay the OilMaster product down. In a normal situation, very often the absorbent is left there for a period of time during the day, the work day, and then clean up later. With the OilMaster, you actually don't have to. What I'm going to do is clean up the OilMaster first. And what you'll see is that when I'm done, you'll find out that most of the oil has been absorbed, and still there is plenty of absorption still left in the OilMaster. It's still relatively dry, which means that we actually could have picked up a lot more liquid. And at first pass, what you have is the oil is virtually gone. And the OilMaster itself is still relatively dry, and we could use it again if we needed to. With the Absorb, again, not as absorbent as the 7X, but more absorbent than clay. We'll do the same thing, and on a first pass, what you'll see is the residual amount of oil that's left after the Absorb has done its job. Now, if I were on an unpainted floor, unsealed floor, I could actually grind that Absorb into the ground to cover up the stain, like is done with clay very often. And that's only on an unfinished floor where the oil may be absorbed right into the grains of the concrete. So first pass, that's what we have as far as the absorption capability of the Absorb. And do the same basic process with the clay. I've used the same amount of each of the materials just to basically show you the fact that the 7X was still fairly dry, the Absorb not as dry, and the clay is pretty much saturated. And then first pass, that's what I have left. Obviously, from an absorption standpoint, the OilMaster products works much more effectively, and my option now is to go back and put on another quantity of clay, leave it, work it in some more, and you can see why we use so much more clay than we would the OilMaster product. Therefore, OilMaster is much more inexpensive because you don't use as much product. In summary, what I'd like to say about the granular absorbents is that for those customers that really like something different, something very absorbent, the OilMaster 7X has been very successful. For those people that have been using clay for a long time, a heavier material, that are used to it, and that may be somewhat resistant to change, the Absorb is a perfect replacement for clay. Not only are the OilMaster products much healthier because they're biodegradable, agricultural based, they have no harmful carcinogens, as does a clay-based absorbent. And obviously they work better, as you can see from this demonstration, as well as the actual cleanup.